an indie artist making music for the soul.
This is the first time I felt like we really are being seen and heard and noticed not just by Indians but like all over the world.
Her musical journey is inspiring and alluring.
When it comes to music, it's the opposite. When it comes to writing, it's really all about being spontaneous and letting yourself flow with whatever emotions that you're feeling.
NewsX influencer A-list proudly recognizes Kamakshi Khanna for influence in music.
Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX Influencer A-List. I'm Aarti Krishnan. I have with me Kamakshi Khanna, who is a music artist who is with us, and she's actually a content creator and she does live gigs as well. Thank you for joining us, Kamakshi. It is great having you on our show.
Thank you for having me, Aarti. This is awesome.
All right, Kamakshi, let's start with talking about your music journey, how you started getting into music, and what it is that that drew you into this field.
I've been doing music for, I think, 10 years now, professionally. But mostly my journey started when I was around 12, 13 years old. I was performing with a choir, which was curated by Pandit Ravi Shankar. We traveled all over the world, including Austria and the Presidential Palace. So that was my first experience being a professional touring musician. And since then, it's just been a bunch of amazing communities and choirs and people that I've been able to work with. I was also really active in my school choir, in my college choir. And after that, I did backup vocals for the band Euphoria. And since then, which is around 2015, is when I started writing my own music and performing my own music live. And since then, there's been no looking back.
Kamakshi, you did mention that you did live music and you also post content online. Now, what is the difference in posting content online or being a creator online when it comes to performing for a live audience or performing on stage?
That's a great question. Honestly, performing live is something that's irreplaceable. You can never replace live performances. As someone who loves witnessing live performances, as someone who loves watching them and performing them, there's nothing that can come close. But when it comes to content creation and sharing your music and recording your videos, all of that is it's something that you put a lot more attention to detail. It's less spontaneous than performing live. It's less about like putting yourself in the spot and just reacting spontaneously to situations and the band around you and the way people are kind of receiving your music and feeding off each other's energy as musicians. So that's something that's not really there when it comes to content creation. But what's great about content creation is that it's all of us have learned so much over the past year about being able to release music on our own, record music, produce, make sure that the videos look good, and direct our own videos and stuff as well. So I think there's a huge learning curve there, and you can connect with anybody sitting in any part of the world on their couch, and there's something really powerful about that. Yeah.
Right. When exactly did you realize that you would like to start putting your content online? And do you think you would then be, creating a calendar, say social media calendar, and doing it more meticulously now that you've started getting into the content creation online?
I've been sharing videos of me singing and sharing my music since 2015, 2016, but only during the lockdown is when I had no choice and no other option but to really, think of social media as a way to express myself and to share my music meticulously. So I did have a social media calendar. There was a point when I was releasing something every Wednesday. I had a bunch of collaborations that I did. I also started this little series called the Green Room Session. As you can see, my bedroom is green in color. But the whole idea was to share unreleased versions of my songs, stuff that I haven't put out at all, and songs that I've written through the lockdown and the emotions that I've experienced and all the chaos in my mind because of the lockdown. Kind of tried to articulate it and pen it down in the form of songs. And I would perform it and record it at home myself and put it out. And then that helped me reach out to a whole new audience of people. And each month I would release a new song. So the whole idea is that it was symbolic of the idea of a green room, which is being backstage before you go into the real world and perform. So for me, this is my green room, and this is where I write. This is where I feel creatively inspired, and I can't wait to get back into doing gigs and sharing that with the world. Yeah.
Right, it's very interesting that you brought that up, the behind the scenes of being a musician. We're talking to a lot of music artists this week, and why don't you tell us about your process, the way you write a song? Is it based on the emotions you feel at the moment, or are they based on events that happen in your life? What is your process to writing music?
So as much as I overthink as a person and plan everything to the T, when it comes to music, it's the opposite. When it comes to writing, it's really all about being spontaneous and letting yourself flow with whatever emotions that you're feeling. So for me, all the music that I write is inspired by lived experiences. So if something particular is happening in my life, very specific, and I can't really articulate it in words or make sense of it, or or it might be something amazing that I really want to like talk about and think about more. I try to put it in a song. So all my songs are based on my own life and my own relationships with people and my relationship with things or thoughts that occur to my mind. So yeah, so my process is I start writing either melody or a lyrical like idea, rough idea, and then I keep developing it over time and letting it grow in whatever way that it feels natural to me.
Right. Tell us how people are receiving your music online, and you are a hit when you perform live. But when it comes to online, are you seeing people reach out now saying that your music is touching them on a personal level, and they're connecting with the music you're making?
Absolutely. When you think about live gigs, the interesting thing is that yes, people might show up, but they're not really choosing to listen to you always. They're basically trying to have that experience. They want to go out. They want to, be with their friends. But when it comes to online, if somebody is actually going and liking something you put up or commenting on it or engaging with it, that's a choice that they're making. So I feel like my presence online has helped me a lot more than some gigs have because with gigs, sometimes people may not be as attentive. But if people are like willingly going and choosing to listen to your music and engaging with it, that means a lot more. So I think it's really helped me expand my audience. I released a lot of music during the lockdown as well. I released a song called Kareeb and Dur and a bunch of collaborations with a lot of artists. So, and I haven't seen as much growth when it comes to people engaging with my music than I have in the past 2 years. So I think social media is a really powerful tool to share your music, and I'm excited to keep using it.
Kamakshi, tell us what you feel about the music scene in India itself, because music is imbibed into movies. In India, especially the Indian film industry, it goes hand in hand with the music industry. But there are also people releasing singles. There are people now releasing music online as well. Without them, and then they just go into Spotify and several other platforms. So, how do you see the music scene in India right now?
I think there's never been a better time, according to me. Honestly, like this is not just me painting a rosy picture. I've been doing this for 10 years, as I said, and this is the first time I felt like we really are being seen and heard and noticed, not just by Indians, but like all over the world. I think indie music scene is booming. And I'm really excited to be a part of it, especially as you said, that whole line of like Bollywood and indie music is becoming more and more blurred. Films are picking up indie songs. Recently, a film picked up When Chai Met Toast songs. Pratik Kohar songs are being synced left, right, and center to films all over the world. You're seeing people like Hanita Bhamri, collaborate with Atanish Bakshi on. So, both the worlds are meeting and becoming one solid unit, which is Indian music, and it's so diverse. It's got so many different styles and so many different voices and stories to tell. So I'm very, very excited to be a part of that as well.
Thank you so much
Yeah.
for joining us today, Kamakshi. It has been a very interesting conversation with you. All the very best, and we hope to listen to more of your tunes soon.
Thank you, Aarti. It was so much fun talking to you.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.